Cracker Barrel Old Country Store is a chain of restaurant and gift stores that opened in 1969. Thank you for your suggestion.
Grandma's country fried steak was legendary.
My aunt made this meatloaf.
Mom's biscuits.
Made the whole house smell good.
At Cracker Barrel Old Country Store, you'll find the country recipes you remember and some new versions of old favorites, like our new 3-meat and cheese macaroni bake, loaded with smoked sausage, ham, grilled chicken, and 3 kinds of cheese. Just $6.39, only at Cracker Barrel. The country's right down the road at Cracker Barrel Old Country Store.
Dan Evans was a Shell Oil jobber in 1969 when he decided to open up a restaurant. He borrowed $40,000 and built his first combination gas station, restaurant, and store along the interstate highway just outside Lebanon, Tennessee. Evans, a Shell gas station operator, felt he could attract more customers if a restaurant and a gift shop were located on the station's lot. It was located close to the Interstate 40 just outside Lebanon on the Gallatin Highway 109 exit in Tennessee. It opened on September 19, 1969, serving Southern cuisine including biscuits, grits, country ham, and turnip greens. Danny knew that with the new interstate highway system, people would be traveling more. He built his business by treating his guests with genuine hospitality, offering good-tasting country cooking and charging a fair price so that they would stop again when they were traveling back in the other direction. That approach to business led to the company's mission statement, pleasing people, a mission statement which is about mutual respect. Danny named his restaurant Cracker Barrel Old Country Store to recall the country stores of his youth in rural Tennessee, where people would gather around to play checkers on top of an empty barrel that had been used to deliver crackers to the store and catch up on the latest news in their small towns. He offered Southern country cooking he had grown up on, using many family recipes, and decided to decorate the walls with authentic antiques. Danny never compromised on the quality of the ingredients for the meals he served or on the quality of the gifts he sold in his retail shop, regardless of what corners the competition might be cutting. Within 1 month, Cracker Barrel Old Country Store began to make a profit. Evans incorporated the company the following year and sold half of the new business to a local group of businessmen, raising $100,000 to open a second restaurant, gift shop, gas station. After incorporating Cracker Barrel in February of 1970, he soon opened more locations. In the early 1970s, the firm leased land on gas station sites near interstate highways to build the restaurants. By 1974, Cracker Barrel was operating 10 stores, all located along interstate highways and all making a profit. Although Cracker Barrel's restaurants and gift shop sales grew, Evans' gasoline business was less profitable. When the gasoline crisis hit in the early 1970s, the company began building new restaurants without gas stations attached. In 1974, Evans ended his distribution contract with Shell Oil. The restaurants did so well without gasoline service that by the late 1980s, Cracker Barrel had eliminated gasoline service from all of its locations. Cracker Barrel's solid growth began attracting the interest of independent investors, prompting the company to register with the SEC in 1974. Rapid expansion continued through the end of the decade. By 1983, the company was operating 27 locations along interstate highways in Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Kentucky, Florida, and Alabama. Between 1978 and 1983, their net income and revenues increased at a rate of 25% annually, resulting primarily from the addition of new restaurants. In late 1981, when interest rates were high and it threatened company's expansion, Cracker Barrel went public, selling shares on the NASDAQ. Despite Cracker Barrel's continued expansion, though, sales began to slip. In 1985, Evans tried to stem the slide by making some broad management changes. Changes included the establishment of a new marketing department and the hiring of 5 executives, all with experience in larger organizations. Net sales rose 20% to $80 million, and net income grew 49% by 1986, due in part to the improved operating efficiency and higher margins on sales. Cracker Barrel also began opening restaurants near tourist destinations, including Opryland, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and Hilton Head, South Carolina. By the end of 1987, the Cracker Barrel chain consisted of 53 stores in 8 states, with annual net sales slightly over $99 million. Reasons for Cracker Barrel's success was its unrivaled ability to evoke nostalgia without being corny. Cracker Barrel employees were also simply warm and friendly. Their stores looked old-fashioned, but are never cute. This atmosphere, reinforced by its inexpensive country cooking menu, helped Cracker Barrel carve out a niche for itself in the family restaurant business. Cracker Barrel also instituted an extensive manager and employee training programs in the 1980s, which greatly improved store efficiency and profit margins. Potential managers spend 10 weeks in extensive training sessions, whereas hourly employees follow up an on-the-job course called the Personal Achievement Responsibility, or the PAR program. Rewards, such as increased wages and cheaper benefits, are given for a successful completion of the company's set goals. The result has been a turnover rate among hourly employees of 160%, approximately half the industry average. Cracker Barrel's tight management system helped it weather the recession in 1990. The company got into a controversy when it fired a number of homosexual employees. With outrage and protest, Cracker Barrel announced it would no longer fire employees based on their sexual orientation, although protesters claimed that discrimination continued covertly. By 1991, the company recorded profits of $22.8 million with 106 Cracker Barrel locations. In the early 1990s, Cracker Barrel expanded into states such as Michigan, Wisconsin, and Missouri. It was around this time that Cracker Barrel faced some direct competition when Bob Evans Farms opened 7 Bob Evans General Stores with atmosphere and menu items that closely resembled those of Cracker Barrel. Bob Evans also opened the first of a chain of hometown restaurants slated for development in towns with populations of 30,000 people or less. By 1994, the chain would expand beyond their interstate roadside locations by testing a carry-out-only store, Cracker Barrel Old Country Store Corner Market, in suburban residential neighborhoods. The chain added additional regional dishes to their menus per location, although they would continue to offer the original menu items. By September of 1997, Cracker Barrel had 314 restaurants. That same year, the firm closed its corner market operations and refocused on its restaurant and gift store locations. The founder, Danny Evans, served as CEO from 1969 until 2001 and as chairman of the board until he retired in 2004. In 2006, Cracker Barrel began changing its marketing strategy by changing the design on its highway billboard advertisements to include images of menu items. Previously, the signs had featured only the company's logo. By 2012, the restaurant chain operated 608 company-owned locations in 42 states. The founder, Danny Evans, would pass away that year at the age of 76. The company had since begun expansion to the West Coast in 2017. Their first store in the region opened in Oregon, and their first store in California was opened the next year in Victorville. In 2019, the Cracker Barrel purchased Maple Street Biscuit Company for $36 million. In August of 2025, Cracker Barrel unveiled its new logo, replacing the good old logo featuring a man leaning against a barrel for a clean text-only design. This rebranding was part of their All the More campaign. Julie Masino, the new CEO, was behind this new change. She also mentioned that this new logo is part of their plan to update the down-home menu as well. The new simplified logo design sparked social media backlash, with fans calling it generic and woke. Following the release of the new logo, the company's lost nearly $100 million in market value as its stock plunged. Every Cracker Barrel unit is open 7 days a week, with hours Sunday through Thursday, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Today, there are over 660 locations in 44 states, with Florida having 60 locations, followed by Texas with 55, and Tennessee with 51. So what do you remember about this place? Leave a comment or a suggestion for a future video below. And if you haven't already, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.
Bringing back memories from the good old days. That's super cool, man.